Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Pamela, and you are watching PamEntertainmentTV, where we review movies, television series, and incidents in pop culture to see how those incidents affect our daily lives. Listen, we are back here. I do not have a background for this show, but we are back here for, you see it down on the recap, Summer House recap episodes 4 and 5. I know I'm a little bit behind a couple of weeks, but I will catch up. Charge it to my head, not my heart, because I like to get these videos out. All right. If you like what you see, if you've been perusing my channel, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Hit that subscribe button. Once you subscribe, you'll be open to a plethora of videos that I have done reviewing movies, television series, and going over incidents in pop culture. All right. Let's talk about Summer House. Let's talk about Summer House. We're going to go over episodes 4 and 5. These two episodes didn't have a lot of stuff going on because you remember the last couple episodes we had Phil and Mariah shaking the table in the house, and then they ended up getting put out, and then other people have come in. So let's just kind of go over. I'm just going to kind of hit the highlights of each episode, and then we'll go on about our business. All right. So, as we left off on episode 3, everyone was pretty much shocked to find out that Nick had a girlfriend. And this is a girlfriend who he says that he is committed to. Now, Nick gives me opportunist, but I don't want to be confronted that way. So he has literally have been in all the girls' DMs, uh, you know, calling them queen, you're my wife, doing all of these little different things in the DM, trying to, I guess, curry favor with the girls, and whoever was the girl that bit was the one that he was going to pursue. And since none of the girls bit, then it's like, okay, well, I'm not currying any favor, so I'm just gonna call and let everybody know that I have a girlfriend. Nick's girlfriend. Are you his girlfriend or a good friend from college? Because that's what it sounds like it's giving. It's not giving me girlfriend. This is my boo. This is who I love. It's just giving me, this is a good friend from college. We've been friends for years. And that's just so he could save face. That's what he was giving to me. Because Alex was giving me, did I know he had a girlfriend? Yes, I just didn't know how serious it was. So apparently, I don't know if it's as serious as not, but Nick is one of those people that likes to impress people. So he will talk things out. And then when people started like reeling in the information and then trying to get clarity about the information, he didn't want to come out with any extra stuff. And that's okay. That's okay, Nick. We clearly realize that you want to be the center of attention, and you want to be the center of attention on your own terms, not the terms that were laid out for you. All right, so we got Shanice going home because apparently Shanice can only come on the weekend because her job is, she just got a new job, so she doesn't have enough PTO to be able to spend a week or what have you from her job. So basically what she does is that she comes for the weekend. So she comes in on Friday and then she's going to be leaving Sunday. So that's just basically how we working out Miss Shanice. So the next day comes and everybody, like I said, is still reeling from, I'm reading my notes, y'all. I don't know. Can I show y'all my notes? Let's see. No, let's go here. Share screen. Window. Share. All right. See, see, these are my notes. These are my notes that I'm reading from. So, because I take notes as I'm reading. All right, we're back. So I just wanted to let you know if I'm looking over, that is because I'm reading my notes. And I probably have done this in other videos, but I just wanted to let y'all know what I was looking at. The girls kind of the next morning, because they have like a separation of the sexes, like the men are doing calisthenics and the girls are doing a mimosa walk. And as the what's his name, Preston wants to go with the girls, but uh Silas is like, no, we gonna let the girls go with the girls and the guys go with the guys. Yeah, because Preston is giving me, I liked it a little messy, just a tad. He want to know everybody business, and then he's just a little tad messy. That's messy. That's what he's giving me. But like I said, he gets out there with the guys, and they're performing all the exercises, and Preston is only giving it. He's half-assing it, and then Silas is one of those people that's gonna call you out on it, and Preston just lets him know, look, I'm doing the best I can. Everybody has their own little stamina and what they can do and what they can't do. I know my limit. I'm not sitting here not trying, but I am a little winded. So, where are we? The girls get to talking about Nick and his situation with his girlfriend, and they don't like it, but they've just kind of let it go because there's nothing, that no one is interested in Nick in the first place. The two people that have someone talking to them currently is Alex and Amir. So that's how we're going. What is the new guy? There's a new guy that came in, light skinned, old light skin. That's what I'm gonna call him, old green eyes, because I can't think of what his name is, and I don't even have it in my notes. Alex is flirting. I noticed that Alex was flirting with Jordan, and Jordan can't really seem to read his intentions. Alex is one of those guys that wants you to kind of come to his space, come to his lair, so to speak. He wants to talk and everything like that, but he wants to do it like within his lair, within his scope, you know, all esoteric and whatnot. So I don't know what happened. So they were, like I said, the girls were doing the mimosa. Shanice had to leave, doing their mimosa walk. The girls kind of split up, and then it became Nick was outside with Silas, and Nick asked Silas about, did he think that he was being controlling in regards to Jasmine. And at first I was like, well, darn. But then I started noticing that everyone started talking about the dynamics between Silas and Jasmine. Because one of the things that I think is irritating everybody in the house is the fact that they're up there. I mean, n- tearing the bed off the hinges, and everybody hears them, and they don't even have the decency to either put on some music so you didn't understand what was going on, or just kind of quiet down. They're just in there hooping and hollering and screaming as if they have never had sex before in their lives. And I do understand that they're newlyweds, but you're in a whole house full of somebodies. So I think that if you knew that you were going to be doing that type of sexing, it probably would have been better to be downstairs, because they were having sex so much that poor Amir had to come downstairs. He couldn't sleep. He had to come downstairs just to get some rest. And they're so big on the house and being in the house, but they definitely are not very good housemates. They have too many orders and rules. It's one thing to have orders and rules to keep people from fighting, and it's another thing to have orders and rules to keep people from tearing up stuff. But they're putting 20 on 10. They're putting 20 on 10 in regards to, we're in a relationship and we are married and we have things. And that's fun, and that's fine. And I don't want anybody to mishear me to say that I'm dogging them in marriage. However, you got to let people live, and I don't think that she was allowing for Jordan to live. Let me see, because I don't want to skip over anything. So Nick tells Silas he's controlling. Silas disagrees, and he stated he has done a lot of planning, and him trying to stick to the plans may come off as being controlling. We'll let Silas live. Child, Nick can't swim. And Nick wants to do these water things, and then he tries to sit on one of the floaters, and he doesn't position his body right. He ends up falling in the pool, child. But he's tall, so he's not going, if he just stands up, he's not going to drown. Let's see. Yeah. So they decide to go fishing. They're getting ready to go fishing. Amir has set up a fishing trip. They're going to catch the fish, and he's going to bring the fish home, and he's going to cook it. And so now we get to the problems. So Bria sends Jasmine a text, just letting her know that Simon is on his way and he's going to be coming for the week. And then Silas sees the text and he gets upset. He's like, I'm not okay with him being here for a week. She didn't run that by us, but she did. She ran it by y'all at the bowling alley. I remember that. And she specifically said that because of the turnaround, because it's a 13-hour flight, she wanted him to stay until the end of the trip. So that meant that he was going to be staying, like, think 5 days instead of 3. They agreed to it. And then all of a sudden, they don't remember nothing. Because of, with all the stuff that they had with Phil and Mariah. Now, well, we got to take it to the group. We got to do this. So Bria gets upset. My next line is Silas and Jasmine stay fucking. I'm sorry. Every night. Can nobody get no sleep? And then they know the cameras are in there and they're even talking about the cameras. And I'm like, yeah, y'all are putting 20 on 10. But I'm gonna let them live. They newlyweds. They just got married like 3 or 4 months ago. I'm gonna let them live. So Jasmine sits down with Bria and confirms that Simon is coming. She then tells her that, oh, well, you all are supposed to stay. He can only stay for 3 days. We got to run it by the group. Bria says, I don't understand why I have to run it by the group because I talked to you all before and you all said yes. But now Silas and Jasmine don't remember nothing. The producers told them that they had said that, and they claim they sticking to it, child. They sticking to, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do that. Let's see. Bria calls Shanice. She tells her that Alex is running around having conversations about Shanice behind her back, talking about restraining orders and things and stuff like that, problems that she's having and things like that. And he's bringing all this up in conversation. Shanice says she's gonna be back Friday. She's gonna handle this. And Bria tells her about what's going on with Jasmine and Silas and what they said about Simon coming. And so they don't have the issue. That issue dies down. So we get Summer arrives. They have a great time fishing, and then Summer comes. So Amir and all of them are cooking and things like that. Bria's down there sabotaging the meal by putting too much Lowry salt in the daggone broccoli. She can't cook, but I can't stand people like that. They come in doing way too much. Well, you're not cooking the food. Get your stinky hands off of it. That is a pet peeve of mine. If you see people in the kitchen cooking, you ask to be of assistance, but you just don't come in seasoning their food and doing all kinds of stuff like that, child. So episode 5, we get into, well, let me hush up. At the end of episode 4, Silas decides, because everyone's talking about Bria and all this other stuff. So Silas decides to go upstairs and to tell, basically, he went up there to tell her Simon is only going to stay for 3 days, and that's the end of it. And Bria got upset. And he said, oh, well, you're being manipulative. She says, how am I being manipulative? I asked you all when I got here, would it be okay for Simon to come and Simon to stay? And you all said yes. Now you're backpedaling and pussy popping and talking about no. But you said yes. And so they go back and forth. And then she mentions the fact that, Everybody else can you and Jasmine in there bumping the uglies. Y'all are in there having all the sex, and I want Simon to be here, and I explained why he needed to stay. And anyway, they went to a vote. Simon and Bria, Silas and Bria got into it. So then we get into the next episode, which is episode 5, which was called Jamaican Me Crazy. Summer is going to do a big Jamaican dinner for the next day. So this is why the episode is called that. They have a house meeting in regards to Bria and Simon, and everyone agrees that it'll be 3 days. Now, the way that house meeting, in my opinion, was set up, it was like Jasmine and Silas had just basically said, we're going to vote for them to stay here for 3 days. All in favor. And pretty much everybody just raised their hand. There was a couple of people. I know Preston was like, I don't know what the big deal is. We came to have fun. We didn't come for all these rules. The same thing with the light skin. Mr. Green Eyes, he was like, I just came here to try to get away from stuff. I didn't want to walk into a whole bunch of mess, which is true. But again, that's Jasmine and Silas claiming that they have plans, but whatever it is that they have planned is just it's like, you do with this, you're gonna have to do this or do that. But anyway, they did get confronted again about their sex, and now they're conscious of it. And Silas gets on my nerves. I don't want another man to hear my wife moan. Baby, you didn't care nothing about all that. You didn't care nothing about all that for them first 5, 6, 7 nights, because every night y'all was in there tearing the bed frames up. Now all of a sudden, I don't want the men to hear my wife. They hear it. And low key, you like for them to hear it, because you like to then be able to say, this is my woman. Don't play. And I'm real irritated now about all of that. Nick checks on Bria. Nick tells Bria about what's going on and that they voted for the 3 days. He brings her some food. Amir comes up and he brings her some food. And she's like, well, I'm not going to even worry about it. Because he was like, Tag, you had, because her room, she had thrown everything out. She was about to go home from the last episode, but she decided not to. That she was going to stay. And plus she was going to stay simply because Simon, her boyfriend, said that he'd already paid for his ticket, so there is no getting a refund. So let me see. So Summer has her, Alex and Summer have a conversation, and they seem to be vibing. I said on an esoteric level, they start talking about vibrations and all kinds of stuff like that. She hired a Jamaican chef, and they presented them with food, and the food looked good. And baby, they started drinking that rum punch and started playing Truth or Dare, and they were having a good old time. They had Nick had to jump into the pool. Summer had to do a lap dance, or she had to kiss on Alex. Let me see. Oh, and this is where they really got upset, Jasmine and Silas, because they said for Jasmine, the dare was for her to recreate all the sounds she makes when her and her husband are having sex. And her husband was just, Silas was like, oh my God, I didn't know that the walls were so thin. And now there's pretty much self-conscious. We had, I don't know if it was today. When did we go? They drunk the rough. I think I skipped over, let me see. I think that was in episode 4. Is it episode 4 or 5? Okay, it's episode 5. So Jordan has been celibate for a year. She explained that she was in a situationship. She realized that they both were not ready to be in a relationship. And she just felt like for herself, she made a conscious effort that the next person that she had sex with was going to be in a relationship. And plus, before she went into a relationship, she wanted to know what it was like to be celibate, not to have sex, and to kind of work on herself. And that's what she's doing. However, we know that Jasmine is married, and you know how young married people are. They want everybody else to be married and loved too. So she's quizzing her about what her immediate relationship goals are. And Jordan basically tells Jasmine she's just kind of winging it. She's not trying to jump into a new relationship. So Jasmine asked her about, was there any guy here that she thought she could be serious with? And Jordan says no. And you know, Amir has been trying very hard to get with Jordan. She said, there's no man here that I want to get with, but I'm not closing my options, but I'm not rushing into anything too. I don't feel like she's rushing into something. And Jasmine's like, well, you know, you just need to find somebody. And that kind of irritated Jordan just a little bit. And Jasmine realized that she irritated Jordan, but she was like, I wasn't trying to say that she needed to be with a man. I was just trying to see where she was at. And it didn't come across right. And it didn't. You did sound like you wanted to press upon her the importance of her being married and the importance of her having a mate, and that you were doing all of this matchmaking and all this other stuff for her. So she did feel some kind of way about that. Simon comes along. So basically Simon comes, he meets everybody, and then Nick, he's so catty. Oh my gosh, he wore a crushed velvet suit, tuxedo. Ugh, I'm just trying to not say anything. If that man want to wear a tux, let that man wear a tux. Okay. Because from what I understand from the behind the scenes stuff, yeah, that's the middle of September. And I know Martha Vineyard is cold. Because y'all are I'm quite sure, I don't know if you've had Labor Day yet, because Labor Day marks the end of the summer. So you all y'all were really, really and truly up there doing a whole lot of. Yeah, everyone met Simon. They go to dinner. He gives them Philip Plein watches and Versace watches. Everybody's okay because those watches are between $800 and $1,200. So they spent $2,400 on the host, and then each one of the guests they spent $800 on those watches. So my question is, who got that job like that, or are they hot? Because that seems like a lot to be giving folks. So I wrote a little thing that Silas and Jasmine killed me with trying to put someone on the spot about getting married, because they put Simon on the spot about what his intentions were for Bria and all this other stuff. And then Silas goes on this monologue about, marriage and having a couple, and everyone needs to be together, and how gratifying it is. And then Jasmine confides that all of this is difficult for her. She's doing it, but there is some difficulty in it. And he gives her that stare like, you are not on brand, girl. You are not on brand. And that's the end of the episode. Like I said, these two episodes, like I said, I put them together because doing them one by one, it wouldn't have made too much sense. But putting them together, they were okay. Didn't have any big highlights from these two episodes. I'm going into episodes 6 and 7, and I will review those episodes. But tell me what y'all thought about this. Are y'all watching Summer House on Peacock? It's a spin-off show from, I think the other show is called Summer House. The other show is called Summer House as well. But anyway, that's not my whole purpose. That's not my whole purpose. We do this every week. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And as you see it scrolling down, I'm on a mission for 1,000 subscribers. subscribers. So please tell your friends, tell your family, tell your coworkers. Tell that heifer that you can't stand that I am over here making these videos, child. And as always, people, bye bye.